Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com with match number 3 with Soul Sisters, post of the modern banning of and unbannings. Yes, we like to play first. I think this is a very acceptable hand. We're a little bit high in the mana count, but we do have a Martyr. I don't know, maybe Martyr is not good anymore in the metagame. Maybe going down. I need to try to fit the Squadron Hawks back in this deck. I think that they're going to give me some very favorable matchups versus the attrition-based decks, and this could be our third attrition-based deck in a row. I did the Martyr just for this very reason, so they could get bolted off, and I think the Soul Warden's more powerful than the Martyr, especially now with the Auriok Champion. We'll throw out an Auriok Champion here, and our opponent is going to have a very hard time with the Auriok Champion. So it looks like another Jund. So basically 3 decks in a row of the exact same deck. So use that information for what it's worth. But we are now out of gas. The good news is, though, we are doing a lot of damage here. He's down to a 13. He did get a Bloodstained Mire. That will cost him a life, though. And I hope he doesn't have a Liliana here. See how he actually will sacrifice his Soul Warden. I will kill the Liliana, unfortunately. Which could mean he has another one in his hand. Well, yes, we still do. So Soul Attendant. And Flagstone's keeping this Flagstones. Thin out our deck a little bit. And get rid of the Liliana. So he finds a Kolaghan's Command which can kill the Soul Attendant and make me discard a Plains, which I don't care about. That's probably going to be his plan as well. I think that's the right line of play for him. We'll accept the damage. And we find yet another land. Of course. When it rains, it pours. At least this one's not a dead land. Ghost Quarters would have been better, because it could kill a Raging Ravine. But I will attack in, get him down to a 7. He's got tons of cards left in his hand. Been able to get decent card advantage off the Dark Confidant on the Kolaghan's Command. We'll put a Ranger, of course, underneath. And there's 2 more lands to the bottom. And get him down to a 7. Sin Prodder is pretty much a terrible card here. He's got to figure out a way to kill his Dark Confidant. Because the Auriok Champion is just going to eat him alive. I am not a fan of Sin Prodder. I think it's actually not that great of a card. Anything that gives your opponent the option. Oh, the Liliana. Well, the Liliana is a way that can take care of the Auriok Champion. Liliana number 2. But the Dark Confidant is something he does have to be very, very worried about. And that was a beautiful, beautiful draw. And that should do it. He finds an Urborg Timber Yawgmoth. But now he's got to deal with... It needs to be like a Maelstrom Pulse. And accept the damage. Go down to a 15. See, he's got a Kolaghan's Command number 2 in his hand. That's what it looks like he has. That's why he's stopping me at my draw phase. So Kolaghan's Command off a Spirit forced me to attack into a Liliana, I believe. I think he's debating whether to kill off his own Dark Confidant, though. Yeah, he's definitely thinking. What would be... he has to go. He has to go Kolaghan's Command. And just hope I attack into... I think I actually do it just attack into him at this point. Because then he has to figure out a way to kill off his Dark Confidant and a Spirit in the same breath. I don't care about my planes. But if he Kolaghan's Command, we get rid of the planes anyway. But he's burning a lot of daylight while he's at it. These Jund matchups can go 2-time against Soul Sisters. Usually Jund doesn't, as one of our decks are just going to go over the top of the other one. Looks like it is going to be Kolaghan's Command. And I don't know if this is the right play. We'll go into Liliana. And it Blackly Cliff, so it does end up being the right play because now he's got to find another way to kill the Spirit. He'll come in with a Dark Confidant. Should be seeing a Lightning Bolt on the Confidant pretty soon here. See if he's got Kolaghan Command number 3. There's Goyf. And probably Sin Prodder and needs a Bolt to bolt the Spirit. But we draw a Ranger. That was huge. Might be time to put Wrath of God back. He does have the Lightning Bolt. Very annoying. But we'll Ranger. And get a Soul Attendant and a Soul Warden. Alright, so let's see what happens here. He's going to reveal the top card of his library. Let's see how he stacks it. Few cards could just outright kill him. But I have to be careful how I block as well. One card in our opponent's hand. I can't block the Sin Prodder. I can block the Confidant on the Ranger. But if he activates the Raging Ravine and has a way to bolt, so he's going to go Dark Confidant first, see what he finds. Finds the Blackleaf Cliffs, of course, with the Confidant. Let's see if stacking really becomes a factor here. 2 damage to terminate. We have to put it in his graveyard. Ay. That was just ugly because he would have gone down to a 2 with his terminate. And I think we just might have lost the game just on the stack. He has a Blackleaf Cliffs and one other. I think the right play is to block the Sin Prodder, double block the Sin Prodder, have him kill the Ranger, possibly. And then, no, we'd take too much from the... That'd go up to 4, 9, 10, 11. We'd die. So we'd have to block the Raging Ravine if he ends up activating the Raging Ravine and then leaving back the Soul Attendant. If he's going to do it this way, we'll just double block it. And hope he doesn't have like a bolt. And another Liliana. Makes it trips for him. Really? He's going to go sack a creature. I would have just... Oh, because he likes the card in his hand, huh? Well, we just need Confidant to trigger twice and actually kill him this time. He finds the last... I think he's found all the Blackleaf Cliffs with his deck. Crazy. He's going to activate the Raging Ravine, so that means I need to block the Tarmogoyf. And then we need to draw into like another very relevant card that can block, like another Spectral Processions. But that might not even be enough. Or just have him hit into a 4-drop if he has any in his deck. So we find a path to exile. That does nothing. See if he's got... any 4-drops, which is, we saw the deck list earlier, which is like a 2 of in his deck that the Confidant can hit. Good news is he's burned a ton of time. He's almost down to 15 minutes. And so if this game, or 17 minutes, if this game is, if we go to a game 3 and he keeps playing this way, this guy's going to be out of time. All right, so let's cross our fingers for all 4 of his Blackleaf Cliffs were found by his Dark Confidant. And that's just... I'm just going to path his Goyf. Too bad that wasn't our card last turn. And then we would have one more turn. He discards the Dark Confidant. And yeah, he'll just activate the Raging Ravine and come in for the win. These decks are so good at coming back. We've now seen the Dark Confidant bring back a Jund player and the Courser of Crufix from the black-green player completely just come back in card advantage. Squadron Hawk has to come back in. I think that's the way that we're going to be able to beat out Jund. It's a mess for Jund to deal with. We will bring in Mark of Asylum. Possibly not. I think we just bring in good old Return of the Ranks at Archangel of Thune and take out the Martyrs. Just take out one path and we'll submit it this way. Again, Suppression Fields might be okay versus Liliana type decks. Suppression Field would probably need to come in versus these decks. Especially the black-green having to activate both the Quagmires and the Treetop might just be a little bit too much, as well as this Scavenging Ooze and Liliana. So we'll mess with our sideboard. 3 for 3 though in black-green attrition decks, Jund and just good old black-green. Usually, like, it's best Soul Scissors wins the first match. It's more in our favor the first match and gets less in our favor the next 2 matches because of the sideboard options of board wipes. We have not seen a Ghost Quarter either in these matchups, which Ghost Quarters are very good against killing Raging Ravines, which is one of their win cons. Yes, we'd like to play first. Yes, we'd like to mulligan. Yes, we'd like to mulligan, and we lost this game. So I don't think that we're going to be able to beat a mull to 5 against Jund unless he mulls with us. But it's still happy with this. This is giving us a lot of information of how the metagame is going to evolve. And I'm confident in Soul Sisters. Had some pretty good top decks ourselves, but also some top decks of our opponents drawing themselves out of some very sticky situations. Hopefully our opponent graces us with his presence here. He decides to keep his hand. We'll mulligan again. That's usually what happens with Windbrisk Heights. Man, Windbrisk Heights has actually been pretty bad in these matchups. I have not been able to attack him with 3 creatures very often. There was the one game, though, it did do a lot of work. Appears our opponent is probably double queued now, so we're going to have to wait around for him. Let me show you a few things that I'm working on at the moment. This is going to be the deck that I'm going to be playing this week for Gathering Magic. Still, of course, as you can tell, has not been completed. But I think Thalia's Lieutenant really puts this archetype over the top. I think that I'm not sure if we want to go lead the Stampede or Collected Company so far, but right now it's more of a Collected Company build because of Silverwood Paladin and Reflector Mage having a lot of good synergy with Collected Company. And then the Noble Hierarch, Eternal Witness is actually going to go in this, and Eternal Witness works out very well in this deck. So I'll be showing you this deck for Friday. It will come out. And I'm even thinking about putting Return of the Ranks in the sideboard. I'm not quite sure. It depends on how many 2-drops. If not, it might be just something like Dermoka's Command or Path to Exile that gets more value with Eternal Witness. There's a few other cards that pair very well with Eternal Witness. Court of Calling. I thought Court of Calling would be nice with Reflector Mages and Thalia's Lieutenants and Silverblade Paladins, even though that we aren't necessarily a combo-based strategy that gets the most value out of Collected Company. See if our opponent has graced us with his presence yet. Oh, he has. We'll put an Archangel of Thune underneath. And there was 2 lands in that pile too, so no Thoughtseize. But of course, we'll draw into another land. So we scryed a land to the bottom. We had 2 lands from the Windbrisk Heights to the bottom, right? I think there's 2 there. And then we just drew into another one. Auriok is a very powerful card. Not good against Liliana, though, so hopefully we can avoid the Liliana. I'd actually loved him to Thoughtseize me here. Now, just a Ooze. Ooze is rough. And there's our Spectral Processions. Wow. Okay, well, if there's anything that can actually get us out of this, it is going to be the Spectral Procession draw here. Because now we have some padding against Liliana. Just don't Maelstrom Pulse me. Just a Dark Confidant. I think we just... Yeah, I think we're fine. And look at this. We're still going to even draw lands. But we'll go to attacks. Attacking with all the spirits. I have no clue how we drew out of this with terrible, terrible flagstones, and guess I should have kept this flagstone back to... I actually don't want to shuffle my deck because I know how many lands are at the bottom. So let's hope for some Thoughtseizes. Of course, he gets a forest off his Dark Confidant. What? How many of that is a row with that Dark Confidant? Crazy. And he just scoops. A mull of 5. Okay, I guess I should never count myself out. I was so tempted when he was lagging behind just to say, okay, we'll go on to the next game. We'll keep in the 3 paths. I think this is a pretty decent lineup. We'll submit it. Go back over to this deck tech. Come on. Oh, he's going to play. I'm going to keep it just for the Spectral Procession, but this land flood is getting unreal. We had the first turn Windbrisk Heights, which is okay. So it's kind of not a land with the Spectral Procession. And there's the Archangel of Thune. Unfortunately, it wasn't oh, Honor of the Pure. This is going to be pretty good if we can get the... If you Dark Confidence, I think I have to kill it, though. It's just going to be an ooze. I might actually just path that, though. No, it's actually going to be Soul Attendant for Spectral Procession. And this lets us keep the path up. And I can path an ooze because there's nothing better to path. I don't think it does ramp in turn, though. And it is one of the more problematic cards, so I will path it. See if a Goyf comes out. Well, we're definitely going for it. See if he's got a Drown in Sorrow. Neither Soul's Betrayal before we can get off the... Honor the Pure is rough. Ajani's Pridemate can come out. It is quite weak, though. I could get the Auriok Champion just in the graveyard. No, we need to draw into an Honor the Pure, and we scried one away. So there's our trump card. Let's bolt that off. Okay. Yeah, that's a rough card for us to deal with. Was worried about... It's usually just a one of in the deck, though. So a lot of times you can just avoid having to play against it. But when they do find it, this does happen. Ranger would be decent, because a Ranger can find us a blocker. Honor, of course, would be the best card we could draw into, because if we can get an Honor of the Pure, then the Auriok Champion can come out. And if the Auriok Champion can come out, then we can return the ranks into both the Soul Attendant and the Ajani's Pridemate. Or, if we draw just one more land, we can Archangel. Once we have the Archangel online, the Night of Soul's Betrayal does automatically kill the Auriok Champion and the Soul Attendant when we do return to the ranks, but we can return to the ranks back in, at least get a Giant's Pridemate and Archangel big. And with our opponent with only 2 cards left in hand, we're in decent shape. Looks like our opponent is AFK again, so I don't know. I think Reflector Mage and Blue is the right route to go with the humans. I'm thinking there might be a few other human cards we can bring in. Meddling Mage is one that I'm thinking about, at least in the sideboard. Alright, see what our opponent comes up with. Now I'd hate to go against, like, Thoughtseizes. Most likely going to be taking 3 this turn from the Tarmogoyf. Again, Thoughtseize would be the worst case scenario. Inquisition, not so much. Archangel would be a 2/3 though, so it would be susceptible to Lightning Bolt. So we need another turn to land that Return to the Ranks. If we don't draw a land, I will go Auriok Champion just to die. I should have done it last turn. Yeah, he will just go Raging Ravine. And attack in, and we'll take 6. Alright, so no dead draws here. Ghost Quarter's fine. I think we'll do this play. Hopefully he doesn't have a Terminator or Lightning Bolt in hand. Or a Liliana. Does have a Maelstrom Pulse. So we're down to a 9 or 12. Ajani's Primate's good. Now, Kolaghan's Command is very tricky since we just got the Auriok Champion in the graveyard and then the Return of the Ranks dies. Be a Thragtusk. Didn't see that one coming. Which is a 4/2. And we do have 2 Pridemates that will get bigger. Spectral Procession is still pretty bad. I think we have to Return to the Ranks here. Just now we have 2 5/5 Pridemates. Hope he has a handful of Confidants. That would be hilarious. Usually it's only one of Maelstrom Pulse in the deck. Huntmaster's annoying. We have another Ghost Quarter. Huntmaster's extremely annoying. That was the card I definitely did not want to draw into as another land. Huntmaster flips. And if he can somehow do 2 cards, this turn it will flip back over. I think Huntmaster is the best one to kill here. Go down to a 4. Hopefully keep my Ajani's Pridemate alive. Kolaghan's Command does kill. He'll bring it back. Yeah, That was rough. And then he can cast another one. And not quite sure what can actually draw me out of this. Double Spectral Procession is not going to do it. We needed this. This Honor the Pure needed to hit out. Oh, we'd have been just fine. One card earlier. Instead of the Honor. Instead of any one of these cards. And then the Honors were all at the bottom. As I take 4 no matter what. Another close game. Get shut down by the 1 trump card in the sideboard. See what the next card would have been. Or it's not going to show us now with MTG. Anyway, this has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.